Welcome to my tips. These tips are coming from my nips. These tips are coming from Pete Rubish. In this video, you're going to see Pete Rubish go through some very specific exercises to increase your deadlift. The 45-degree back raise exercise that he does, absolutely brutal. Give that a try. Try to overload some weight on it the way Pete does. You're going to love it. This is Mark Belton, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. And we're here with deadlift master, Pete Rubish. Pete's gonna show us some assistance exercises. What do you got on hand for us today?
So this is a pause deadlift, and I like to pause right off the floor. You see a lot of people pause at their knees. I feel like that you don't get a whole lot out of that. You wanna be pausing in the weakest position. So what I'm literally gonna try to do is break the bar an inch or two off the ground, hold it there for around 1 to 2 seconds, and then you accelerate through. And what that does, it reinforces your posture. You can work on your technique. So I'll generally go a little lighter with these, and I'm also gonna be going double overhand grip to work on my grip.
So he's kind of killing two birds. Yeah, he's killing two birds with one stone. And we put his old washer and dryer behind him. We wanted to make sure he felt right at home.
Got to get that in there, that helps.
Got to get the old garage days back.
Yeah.
So show us how you're doing it.
All right, so with the deadlift, I like to take a pretty narrow stance. Bigger guys, they like going a little wider, but someone with my structure, a little leaner, I like that narrow stance. And I've got the bar about over the middle of my feet here. I don't like to get too close or your knees will get in the way, you'll hit your shins. And with this, I'm gonna come down here. I'm a little outside of the knurling. And the cue I'm gonna think about, I engage my lats like this. Just tighten them up. And that's where I'm working on that posture.
Kind of stand up for a second without the bar. What are you talking about engaging the lats? How are you doing that?
So basically from a side view, I'm gonna go like this. It's a very subtle movement, just down.
Just kind of tucking your elbow into the side a little bit?
Rotate the elbows in, flex downward. That'll kind of bring your chest up.
Yeah, you notice what that did? It like dropped his shoulder down a little bit and raised his chest up a little bit as well.
So that's something you work on with lighter weights. When you're going heavier and approaching a max, that'll tend to go. Your back will just naturally round more and you'll have some form breakdown there, but if we can work on it with the lower weights, it will translate over and help you be a better puller, get stronger.
Okay, show us the pause deadlift.
Pretty much it. I like to do that from anywhere from 2 to 5 reps. I keep it pretty low reps on that. And
about how many sets do you do approximately?
I'll generally do 3 or 4. And I'll work up to like a heavy set and then I'll just keep drilling that. Or sometimes I'll work up to a top set with that and then hit a couple back downs.
Gotcha. So 3 to 4 sets, doing 2 to 5 repetitions depending on the day. And you're also doing this after your main deadlift, right?
This can be its own separate day.
Okay.
Early on in my meet prep, this will be a separate day. And then as the meet gets closer, I'll kind of drop this out and just train a normal deadlift.
Right.
But I like this movement a lot. It's helped me out over the years.
Keep in mind, whenever you're doing exercise like this is where you can focus on your form and technique because the weights are sub-maximal. When you have 100% of your max, about 95% of your max, it's very hard to work on form or technique. These lighter weights, you can focus in on different cues for yourself or different techniques that you may have picked up from somebody else. Yeah, it is pretty challenging. I can feel the grip already starting to give out a little bit. And the pause deadlift's a great movement. It's taking away some of the momentum that we're always trying to use. We're always trying to go so fast. So give the pause deadlift a try. And also don't forget to work your grip. We were doing so by doing some double overhand. All right, we're doing some more assistance exercises here with Pete Rubish. He's gonna show us a 45-degree back raise with some weight on there. What does this exercise do for you?
Just basically overloads the hamstrings. A lot of people think it hits the low back mainly, but it's primarily a hamstring movement. You'll feel it right behind the knee here. Kind of like almost stretches that out and hits it in a similar position like a stiff-legged deadlift. I find this as a high carryover from your lockout to off the floor. It just helps the deadlift all around. So I swear by this movement.
Where do you usually mix these in?
I will mix these in as a primary accessory movement after your pulls, after your squats. I like to do them twice a week. I find them to be that effective.
You got quite a bit of weight on here. You load this up a little bit too?
I've gone up to 415 for 5 reps, and you can do them with a 5-second pause at the top to really get that stretch.
Right.
Or I'll just kind of rep it out. You can do variations, and this has just helped my deadlift, I would say, more than any other movement. So.
All right, show us how it's done.
I have the pad up higher here. If you have the pad too low, it'll put too much pressure on the knees, so you want the pad actually pretty high. It's not much range of motion, but it helps a lot. It's an effective movement. So. Oh, moving around a little bit. You can hold it for a while.
Oh. So it's okay, the range of motion's not huge.
It's not much, but
really challenging.
Gets the job done. And typically I like to do anywhere from 5 to 10 reps, but just change it up all the time. Sometimes with the pause, sometimes without.
All right, Pete's hit a 880-pound deadlift before, so I think he knows a thing or two about deadlifting. Give that exercise a try. All right, you just saw some awesome tips from one of the best deadlifters in the world, Pete Rubish. Pete successfully deadlifted 832 pounds recently in the competition, so those deadlift tips are gonna help you a ton. If you wanna see something really wild, see something really crazy, you're gonna wanna click over here, coming soon, an amazing video from Brian Shaw. And if you want the best freaking strength equipment in the game, click over here, get your products from howmuchyoubench.net. Later.